What's up guys, this is Traxione. I'm going to be teaching you how to make this sound today. This is a synth adapted from a Luckydate video that came out a few months ago. It's kind of a Skrillex Siren sound, and it's also the one I use in my most recent track, Over 9000, that was playing at the beginning of the video. So let's see if we can recreate this. I'm going to right click and create a new combinator, just like that. Click in here, create a THOR, and click Show Programmer. Right click, Initialize Patch. Let's see if I can remember how I did this now. Wrote it down. Alright. Bring our envelope. Sustain and decay all the way up. Very slight amount of attack. No release. Sustain on the filter envelope all the way up. Slightly lower the decay. And this is very important to get the sound that you heard at the beginning. You got to raise the drive to about 3/4 here. Otherwise you're not going to get that kind of distortion you heard. We're going to go into the shaper and click wrap. Turn our drive all the way up. And I wasn't narrating when I clicked these, but I lowered the frequency slightly and raised the resonance just a little bit. We're going to turn our key sync and tempo sync of our LFO. I like 1/8 triplet. Going to bring this up to the downward kind of crest. And go over to LFO 2 and raise the rate almost all the way up. And you'll see why in just a minute. Go to a wavetable oscillator and bring it down to octave 1 and go to raising sine, where the position is going to be about 52. Yeah. Now here we're going to get our LFO 1 to modulate the pitch of oscillator 1. And here we're going to get our LFO 2 to also modulate the pitch of oscillator 1, but ever so slightly. And what's going on with LFO 2 over here, something I like to do, what am I doing here? There we go. I like to add a little bit of grit to my sound by adding a extremely high frequency oscillator onto the pitch of an oscillator, or sorry, LFO onto the pitch of an oscillator, and modulating it ever so slightly, and it gives it a grit that you can't really get many other ways. Okay. Turning up the gain just a little bit. Right, and next we got a M-class equalizer. I'm going to turn on the low gain, lower the frequency ever so slightly, bring the gain up, and the Q all the way up. I'm going to bring the gain up here to just above 3 o'clock. Lower the Q ever so slightly. And here we're just going to raise the gain. Right, next we've got an RV7000 advanced reverb. Oh, and I forgot to say this. There's no oscillator 2 going on right now, but if you change this, you can hear a difference in the sound. And to give it a wider, kind of wompier sound, I'm going to bring this down to about 42. You'll hear the difference if you tweak that. And just as a reference point, the note I'm playing is a G3. I'm going into my EQ on the reverb here. I'm going to bring the low gain all the way down. Otherwise you're going to get a really weird interference. Bring the decay down to about 11 o'clock. Dry wet down to 2 to 4. Really small amount of reverb. But when we put a compressor on later, it'll kind of elevate that tail. Okay. Next we've got a unison. And for all the people who are new to Reason, the way I'm creating these effects is I'm just right clicking, go to create. There you go. Alright, I'm going to lower the detune just a little bit, and the dry wet just below 9 o'clock. And notice this is still on 16. Alright, around this point I like to put a stereo image around my sound just to give it a little width, and I want the whole sound to be wider. I know there's a little bit of low end, but with the amount of low end and the synth itself, it's really not going to interfere with the sub when you have it behind there. So I'm going to bring the X over frequency all the way down and just give it a little bit of width. I don't like to go above 10, otherwise it gets too stereo, and if you try to play it in a club, you're not going to hear much of it. I'm going to bring in a compressor at this point, and like I said earlier, this is going to help elevate the tail here. It won't just kind of fade out and die out, it'll kind of spring out at you. Bring up the output gain ever so slightly, the attack a little bit, break down the ratio, threshold up to about 2 o'clock, and raise the input gain just ever so slightly. And right now, should have a pretty good sound. I'm going to change this, bring it down just a little bit. I don't like that. Go with around 44. 42 is good too. Alright, that should be the sound. In case you didn't come out with a sound like I did, I went ahead and just included it in the description. Hopefully this helps y'all out. If you like to, check out the links in the description to my SoundCloud and my Twitter and Facebook, and go follow and like. Thank y'all.